Welcome back to Daily AI News at Let's Data Science. It's 2026 0531. Today we're diving into some pivotal developments from the future of machine intelligence to major product launches. Let's get to it. We begin with a security story that strikes at the heart of how the modern web defends itself. A detailed piece published on Incolumidas demonstrates techniques for breaking Google's reCAPTCHA, the widely deployed system designed to distinguish humans from automated bots. The article shows that reCAPTCHA can be bypassed, undermining one of the internet's most common bot mitigation mechanisms. This is not an academic edge case. reCAPTCHA is embedded across login pages, checkout flows, account creation forms, and API gateways worldwide. If bypass techniques become commoditized, the downstream effects are immediate: increased fraud, automated account creation, credential stuffing, and large scale scraping. The piece also notes that many internet service providers have a major incentive to evade CAPTCHA protections. That economic incentive is key. Whenever there is friction designed to block automation, there is parallel investment in removing that friction. For practitioners in security, ML, and platform engineering, this is a reminder that static challenge response systems degrade over time. Bot mitigation has already shifted toward behavioral biometrics, device fingerprinting, risk scoring, and server side anomaly detection. If reCAPTCHA style front end challenges become less reliable, we should expect more emphasis on continuous authentication models and multi signal risk pipelines. In other words, less click the crosswalk, more probabilistic identity inference at scale. From infrastructure security, we move to infrastructure capital. Bloomberg reports that investors are targeting Asian supply chain companies in anticipation of major U.S. stock offerings by SpaceX, Anthropic PBC, and OpenAI. According to the reporting, these companies are expected to raise billions of dollars, and investors believe that influx of capital will cascade into technology spending. Specifically, the thesis is that funds raised by SpaceX, Anthropic PBC, and OpenAI will translate into orders for server parts, specialized materials, cooling components, and power equipment. Asian vendors dominate global supply in many of these categories, from thermal management systems to high-efficiency power distribution modules. For ML practitioners and infrastructure teams, this is more than a market rally narrative. Historically, large funding waves for model labs and hyperscale deployments have led, with a lag of several quarters, to tightened component lead times and price volatility. Accelerators, server chassis, liquid cooling loops, and data center power equipment are not infinitely elastic markets. If capital flows into compute expansion, we may see renewed pressure on GPU availability, rack density engineering, and energy procurement. Procurement teams should be watching supplier earnings for backlog growth and capacity expansion announcements from foundries and module manufacturers. Capital markets activity often foreshadows physical infrastructure strain. Next, we turn to hardware at the edge, where Meta Platforms is reportedly expanding its AI wearables strategy. According to reporting from The Information and Reuters, an internal memo attributed to Alex Heimel, Meta's vice president of wearables, outlines plans to test an AI-powered pendant within the next year. The memo also describes expanding Meta's AI smart glasses lineup, with as many as 4 new models slated for release before the end of 2026, and introduces a new enterprise subscription tier called Wearables for Work. Reuters reports that Meta aims to sell 10 million wearable devices in the second half of 2026. This push comes as Reality Labs posted a $4.03 billion loss in Q1 2026. Multiple outlets link the Pendant initiative to Meta's late 2025 acquisition of Limitless, a startup that built clip-on recording pendants capable of transcribing and summarizing conversations. The form factor focuses on continuous ambient audio capture and indexing, effectively acting as a searchable memory layer. Technically, always-on audio assistants raise well-understood engineering challenges: low-power microphone arrays, on-device wake word detection, diarization, and aggressive pre-filtering before cloud upload to reduce bandwidth and privacy risk. They also raise governance questions around consent and ambient recording in public and enterprise environments. The AI pendant category has seen prior commercial failures, including Humane's AI Pin. Meta's differentiator may be integration. Unlike standalone startups, Meta already sells AI-enabled smart glasses through partnerships with Ray-Ban and Oakley. The key question is whether Meta can solve the privacy UX and battery life constraints that hampered earlier devices, while aligning enterprise subscriptions through wearables for work. From hardware to authorship, another major debate unfolded in literary publishing. A short story titled The Serpent in the Grove by Jameer Nazir, published by Granta after winning the Caribbean Regional Prize of the Commonwealth Short Story Prize, has been scrutinized for potential AI authorship. Readers flagged stylistic tics that resembled large language model output. Max Sparrow, CEO of Pangram Labs, posted a screenshot suggesting another article was 100% AI generated, and Pangram Labs attributed Nazir's text to AI. In response, Granta publisher Sigrid Rousing stated that the story was run through Claude, which reportedly concluded the piece was almost certainly not produced unaided by a human, according to the New York Times. The Commonwealth Foundation, led by Director General Razmi Farouk, said it reviewed the comments and defended the rigor of its judging process, describing the environment as evolving. For practitioners building AI detection systems, this episode highlights a core technical limitation. Detectors are brittle outside their training domain. Literary prose, with its patterned metaphors and stylized repetition, can trigger false positives. Coverage from Wired and others notes that multiple regional winners were flagged by similar pipelines, raising the possibility of shared false positive modes. The operational takeaway is clear. Single detector outputs should be treated as hypothesis-generating signals, not verdicts. Robust provenance pipelines will require multi-evidence approaches: stylistic analysis, metadata, draft history, cryptographic signing, and transparent uncertainty reporting. In contested cases, social verification still plays a major role. Now, for a few other key updates in our lightning round. OpenAI introduced voice interaction and image upload features for ChatGPT, while Meta previewed conversational AI characters designed for social contexts, according to Casey Newton in Platformer. Multimodal and voice interfaces reduce friction and increase mobile utility, but they also increase latency requirements and moderation complexity across feeds. Chewy announced the Corebook Air 226 VUI as a Copilot PC powered by the Intel Core Ultra 5 226 volts, based on Lunar Lake architecture. The device advertises a combined 97 TOPS of AI compute across NPU, GPU, and CPU blocks, features a 14-inch 2.8K 90Hz IPS display, and is priced in the $800 to $859 range. Practitioners evaluating on-device AI should validate sustained throughput and thermal behavior, rather than relying solely on headline tops. Oppo rolled out the May 2026 update to ColorOS 16, led by the Find X9 Ultra and Find X9s. The update introduces AI summaries, improved live translation, and an AI Mind Pilot system that reportedly orchestrates models including Gemini, GPT, and Perplexity. Multi-model orchestration at the OS level signals increasing complexity in latency management, privacy routing, and output normalization on mobile devices. In fintech, Paytm CEO Vijay Shekhar Sharma said the company will prioritize AI for new investments, citing 13,315 crore rupees in available cash. Medianama reports Paytm is experimenting with agentic AI interfaces in wealth tech and travel, claiming 7x to 8x higher conversion in agentic funnels. And finally, former Japanese digital minister Masaki Taira argued on BSTV Tokyo's Nikkei Sunday Salon that Japan should focus on robotics, physical AI, and specialized models trained on proprietary data, rather than directly competing on frontier large language models. He also pointed to Japan's strength in semiconductor manufacturing equipment as a structural advantage. And that's your AI briefing for today. The landscape is moving faster than ever, and we'll be here to track it with you. For more insights, visit us at letsdatascience.com. Thanks for tuning in, stay curious, and we'll be back tomorrow with the latest in AI.